Alright folks, welcome back to another guitar tips video. Thank you for joining in, and we're going to talk about chord voicings today and the concept of voicings. So I'm not going to go super in depth. Maybe I'll have a chord voicings 2 video, but most of these videos are just kind of off the cuff, and so hopefully they help you out, and we'll see how the format evolves over time. But when it comes to understanding the guitar, understanding voicings has helped me out a lot. And a voicing is basically how the notes are organized vertically. So you can stack notes on top of each other. If you were looking at a piece of written music, you would see like a note on one line, and then above it might be on a space or another line or whatever, and it would continually go up. And so thinking of voicings as how the notes are organized in a vertical way. So it's kind of like the opposite of a melody. Equally important, but when it comes to voicings, understanding your major scale is extremely important. And so we'll do it in the key of G for right now. This is a good key to start in, I think, on guitar. It suits nicely all over the neck. G, and a lot of people start in A, which is fine, but since a lot of people start in A, learning a new key is a good thing for you, so do it in G. G is a good guitar key anyways. So knowing your major scale, and maybe I'll have to do a video on major scales, knowing these notes and how they relate to each other. Most people can play this scale shape right here with like no problem. And so in that scale shape, you have notes that in this case repeat because we have 2 octaves of it. So we have note 1, which is our root, and we just call it note 1. And we have note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then when we get to 8, it's actually a repeat of note 1, which we call the octave. And so you could start over at note 1 again, and it would work just fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When we get into more complex voicings, you want to learn how those notes work past 8, which we call extensions. And so I'll probably do a video on extensions. Anyways, when it comes to a voicing, most people know this like stock bar chord shape, which is cool. But they don't necessarily know how it's built. And I think that's a really essential part of understanding how to progress your guitar playing. And a lot of people don't necessarily take that step, and it's not that hard. And so when it comes to this voicing, this chord is voiced 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. So we have some duplicates. Sometimes we call those doublings, doubles of voices. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Now this is helpful to understand because there's some times where you don't need all those doublings, and then also there's times where you can swap the doubles notes for something that adds a different texture to the chord. So this is just a major chord because all the notes we have are 1, 3, 5, and that's what makes a major chord. We just have some duplicates. But if say we wanted to change one of those 5s to a 6, we could take 1, 5, we could leave this one down here, and take this 5 and move it up to note 6, which is the next note in the scale. And that is what we call a major 6 chord. And in this case, I'm not playing all the notes. I'm doing some muting and things. I could play up to the 1, which works fine, but I'm not playing this string right here because ergonomically it doesn't work for me to add. I would be adding another note to it, and that would create a different chord. And so I just wanted the 6, so I'm kind of muting that 4th string. And I get now a major 6 chord instead of just a major chord. And that changes the color of things, and it is just a slight variation of a major chord. And once you start understanding this stuff, or at least it helped me, when you understand it how it's built, you start implanting these sounds in your head, and then you hear them and you can get to them more easily and more often when you hear them on a record or something that you're trying to learn, or if you're improvising with some friends or in a live performance situation, and you hear someone making these changes, you can kind of jump in on them and play appropriate chord voicings that fit with, say, the piano player or maybe another guitar player. And that's really helpful to help the cohesion with your improvisation. but mostly everything I talk about on these is going to be from an improvisational perspective. And so that's the intro to chord voicings, and we'll talk about it more in a different Guitar Tips video. But thank you all for tuning in, and have some fun, checking out how the scale and the chords relate to each other. See you on the next one. Have a good day, everyone.